Fifth Dimension Radio Sports Special. Live tonight, high school basketball, the Tallmadge Blue Devils versus the Barberton Magics with veteran sportscaster Ron Whitmer and color analyst Eric Whitmer. Stay tuned for all the action right here on Fifth Dimension Radio Sports Special.
Good evening and welcome to Barberton High School for the Fifth Dimension Radio High School Basketball Game of the Week, brought to you by Jobs for Ohio's Graduates and The Stable. I'm Ron Whitmer, and I'm joined in the booth by color analyst Eric Whitmer for tonight's matchup between the Tallmadge Blue Devils and the Barberton Magics. Tallmadge coach Justin Little's team enters play tonight at 10-9 overall and a 9-4 in the Suburban American play. Their last three games have been decided by 4 points or less. It's been a tough go lately for Coach Chad Hazard's team. Barberton has lost 5 straight, 4 of those by 7 points or less after a strong start to the season. The Magics are 9-10 overall and 5-7 in the conference. Barberton beat Tallmadge 60-57 in overtime in the first meeting between these two teams January 12th at Rocket Fieldhouse in Cleveland. We'll talk to both coaches and set the table for tonight's matchup right after this message.
Jobs for Ohio's Graduates, JOG for short, is a workforce readiness nonprofit covering Northeast Ohio, including Ashland, Medina, Stark, Summit, and Trumbull counties, helping youth ages 14 to 24 and adults complete their education, develop soft skills, and start their careers. To make this possible, we need people like you to support the next generation of the workforce and partner with JOG today. Go to jogworks.org, JOGWORKS.org for more ways to mentor and hire JOG participants, attend events, and more.
Ron Whitmer here, pregame at Barberton High School with Tallmadge coach Justin Little. Coach, a win tonight secures second place for you in the Suburban American. Is that a reason for celebration, or are you disappointed by that?
Good question. A little combo of both. We had our opportunities this year to put ourselves up there in that position to compete for a league title, but first loser sounds better than the seventh loser. So what I mean. So I'll take it. We've had our ups and downs this year, but we put ourselves in positions each game to give ourselves a chance to win. And our kids play hard, and I'll live with the results after that. But it would be nice. It would be nice to finish in second, though.
That leads right into my next question. So I'm looking at your losses. 7 out of the 9 losses are single-digit losses, and out of those 7, 4 of them are by 4 points or less.
Right.
So is that a character builder for the tourney? Is that a positive way to look at that, or how do you look at that?
I do think so. Even the 2 games that weren't double digits, we had them in single digits within 6 to 7 points, to where we made it a game in the fourth quarter. So, I think it's good for our group. We're not getting blown out, and we played some good. Ursuline is near the top of our district. We play Cheney Saturday, who's number 1 seed right now. CVCA is in the top 10. Westlake is like 14 or something around those. I'm in the ballpark. I don't know about the exact numbers, but I think that's testament to kind of how we schedule stuff. We purposely play good teams. I want to build that condition and that environment to where they're prepared for anyone and everyone, so to speak. I'm not a fan of just playing a team to get a win. I want to challenge our kids. I want them to be battle tested, and then also part of that. I don't know if you're going to ask this, but our last 5 games are all on the road. So it's kind of what it is. We're expecting to potentially be on the road for the tournament, and you got to win in a hostile environment. And I just think it's good prep for us. And I think we're doing things the right way. It's just sometimes, it feels like that ball doesn't bounce our way a couple of times. But
no worse feeling than that, right? Because that's the uncontrollable. That's Coach Justin Little from the Tallmadge Blue Devils. Coach, good luck not only tonight, but down the tournament trip.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Horse racing is a great sport, and now you can have a horse in the race, own a little, and love it a lot. Thestable.ca is an award-winning horse ownership experience. Purchase as little as 1% of a racehorse and pay a set monthly fee. No surprises, modest investment, low risk, and completely accessible and transparent operations. Thestable.ca offers a unique, engaging racehorse ownership experience and features great customer service and consistent updates about your horse. Our innovative video production team tracks your horse's training progress, and clients are encouraged to visit the horses at any time. Thestable.ca is right for harness racing, and if you want to have a horse in the race, it's right for you too. For more information about The Stable, email Anthony at thestable.ca or call 519-400-4263.
Ron Whitmer here pregame with Coach Chad Hazard from Barberton. Coach, senior night tonight, and I got all excited when I got your starters earlier today when I saw Ando on the list, but that's kind of a ceremonial thing, is that right?
Right.
Any chance that he's back by tournament time?
I don't know. We're hoping and praying. Going through therapy. He's going really hard during therapy, so I don't know if he's going to quite make it in time, but he's going to give it his all. We'll see. If we feel like he can play and that's not a detriment to his college career, then we'll give it a whirl. Yeah. But, honestly, I don't know.
So you've lost 5 in a row after being 9-5 to start the season. You had a big win against Trinity. What do you attribute the losing streak to?
Youth. We start 2 sophomores and a freshman. In our top 8, we have 4 sophomores and a freshman. We're just young. We're young and we're small.
Right.
And obviously we don't have a point anymore, so we're playing without a point guard, as you both know and I know. That's virtually impossible. And then size, we don't rebound well, and we don't have a guy that we can post up. So
when we were here earlier in the season, you had Reynolds step in at the point guard. Have you been happy with his play?
He's had a good year. He's playing out of position. He's really a combo. He really plays a lot better off the ball.
Right.
But with the team that we've had, we don't have any other options. So we'll play Vern at the point guard 90% of the game, and then, believe it or not, our power forward Antoine James is our second best ball handler. Excuse me. So we're running our offense through guys that aren't nothing even remotely close to point guards.
So you got 3 games left. Is that enough time to get some momentum back to go into the tournament?
Your guess is as good as mine. Half the days I'm waving the white flag, and the other half the days I got some optimism. I just don't know. We're going to need some guy. We need more out of Vern and Antoine, to be honest with you. Vern's had a really good year for a sophomore. He's getting about 16 a night, but efficient-wise, he's got to be more efficient. He's got to play and not turn it over. That's been kind of our Achilles heel. Vern's he's struggled. He's had a lot of turnovers. Antoine's had a lot of turnovers. I know I'm nitpicking those. Those are our 2 best players, but for us to win, they have to be great. They can't just be good. We just don't have the pieces. So, those 2, your guess is as good as mine. And the problem is we have a couple shooters, but we don't have any way of getting them the ball. Without a point guard, it's just, anybody to facilitate, we can't get them looks. So it's tough.
So wrapping up here, talking about tonight's game, you got these guys up in Cleveland earlier in the season. Any reason to believe you can't do it again tonight?
I think anybody in this league can beat anybody. I don't think anything's changed. If you look at, I don't know what their mojo is going into the game. I think they've kind of overachieved, to be honest, this year. We're dealing with 15, 16, and 17, and 18-year-olds. You have no idea what's going through their minds. Your guess is as good as mine. I could go in there and give a new Rockney speech, and we could be flat, or I could go in there and just put win on the board, and we could come out great. So I honestly don't know. I'm not used to losing like this, so this is strange for me too. So
that's Coach Chad Hazard with the Barberton Magics. Coach, good luck tonight, and good luck rallying the troops for the tournament.
Thanks, I appreciate it, guys.
Hi,
this is Ronnie Kemmer, owner of Cambria's Bistro. We are located in the heart of downtown Wadsworth at 132 Main Street. Cambria's Bistro is a family-owned establishment that brings together the best of two worlds, the rich traditions of Italian cuisine and the contemporary favorites of a pub and grill. Reservations are not required but recommended by calling 330-331-5282 or 330-331-5357. We offer a casual dining atmosphere that is great for a family dinner, date night, or a special celebration. We feature a wonderful wine list with selections from Sicily to Napa Valley. We also have a great bar menu with specialty cocktails, many beers, on-tap beers, ciders, and seltzers. Cambria's Bistro also features San Pellegrino sparkling water. We are located in the heart of downtown Wadsworth at 132 Main Street. Come see us soon.
Welcome back to Barberton High School for tonight's matchup between the Tallmadge Blue Devils and the Barberton Magics. I'm Ron Whitmer, sitting alongside Eric Whitmer, color analyst tonight. Eric, these two teams, no strangers to each other. They actually played Tallmadge's home game up at the Cavaliers Rocket Arena earlier this season, where Barberton came out on top in overtime by 3 points. Both coaches seem to have mixed feelings about where they were at this stage of the season. I think both had hoped to still be in the fight for the league title. Tallmadge is not far away. They've got a chance to lock up second place on their own tonight with a win over Barberton. And Barberton lost, as we heard in the pregame. They lost their all-everything point guard in the second or third game of the season, Joe Ondo. We're going to see him briefly tonight, we're told, but Coach Hazard's been struggling all season to find somebody to step into that point guard spot for the Magics.
Yeah, I got the sense from both coaches that it's an awkward time of the year. You got a little bit of the regular season left, and you're not playing for a title, but you want to make the best showing as you can at the end of the year. And I think both coaches are feeling the challenge of giving their teams purpose and identity and something to play for moving forward. And it'll be interesting to see what happens tonight.
This is another instance of what seems to be a specialty here at Fifth Dimension Radio, senior night at Barberton, and they celebrated their seniors here pre-game. They're about set to pause for the playing and singing of our national anthem, and when that happens, we'll do that. And we'll also let you know who the expected starters are for both teams. And it appears we will get the anthem first. So we'll pause for the playing and singing, and we'll be back with the starting lineups. So let's take a look at starting lineups for each team tonight. Before we do that, I'll remind you or let you know that the JV game tonight was won by the Tallmadge Blue Devils 42-31. For the Blue Devils varsity, their starters tonight, Caleb Kendrick, a senior 5'10 guard. Anthony Bontempo, a 6'2 forward senior. Chad Rasenko, the leading scorer for the Blue Devils, a junior, a 6-foot guard. Luke Strada, and I want to apologize to Luke and his family for mispronouncing his last name when we had the Blue Devils earlier in the season. So it's Strada, the senior, 6'5 forward. And rounding out the starters for Tallmadge, a 6-foot senior guard, Robbie Reed III. For the Magics, a little bit of a change here, and I mentioned this just a few moments ago. So they are going to be without, as they have been most of the season, their starting point guard, Joe Yondo. But he will start tonight's game in a ceremonial move for his senior year and then be quickly replaced. Also starting for the Magics, a sophomore point guard, number 5, Vernon Reynolds. Their leading scorer at this point, Antoine James, a senior forward. And Eric, Antoine had the biggest contingent I think I've ever seen on senior night. Almost 30 people walked out with him to the center circle as he was announced for senior night.
Very impressive.
Yeah, it sure was. Also starting a senior guard, Uriah Young, and senior guard Colton Klein, another guard for the Magic. So they are taking care of the announcements down below of the starters. I believe we're going to see Dallas Robertson in the game after Ando comes off after the opening tip. We'll see if that plays out the way that we're expecting it to, but should be a good ball game. We happened to see Barberton when they were rolling earlier in the season, Eric. Tony Whitmer's in the color seat, but you were here for that game. And at that time, the Magics kind of rolled over Revere that night, as I recall it. And their young guys, especially Vernon Reynolds, who's taken over the point guard duties for Ando, looked really good that night. James had a big game, as well as one of the sophomores. Trying to remember who that was. Jameel Johnson had a nice night that night. So we'll keep an eye on the youth of Barberton versus the veteran leadership for the Tallmadge Blue Devils. And we'll see how they're going to handle this opening tip.
I think both teams are looking to kickstart kind of a new beginning here to finish strong at the end of the season. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of passion and effort we see from both squads tonight.
And I do see Ando is out on the court, and it looks like it may be one of those situations where they tip it, allow him to score, and then Barberton will allow Tallmadge to score. That's what's going to happen. James tips it to Ando, who will lay it in for his 2 points, and Barberton has an early 2-point lead. And with that, Tallmadge will kick it ahead with no opposition, and Luke Strada will lay it in, so we're even at 2. Nice job by both squads, playing nice, and with that, there's a timeout on the floor. I don't know if they're going to charge this as a timeout or not, Eric.
I don't think so. I think they're just going to allow Tallmadge to have the ball here first, I believe.
So congratulations to Ando, and we didn't get a chance to talk a great deal about it, but he's their senior leader. Their leading scorer went down early in the season. You hate to see that during a senior season in any sport, but especially a point guard and on a team that was expecting big things this year. So the ball will go to Barberton after the Tallmadge basket. They inbound, stolen away by Tallmadge, and Bontempo takes it and flushes it for the Blue Devils on the breakaway for the dunk, and they lead 4-2. James for Barberton into the corner to number 22, Uriah Young. Ball batted out of bounds, going to go off Bontempo for Tallmadge, giving the ball back to the Magic.
Tallmadge certainly came out ready to play. Quick steal and a nice dunk there on a transition.
Yeah, and that Bontempo 6'2". That may be being a little generous, but he got off his feet and threw that hammer down. Austin Carr likes to say. James with the ball, gets it to Johnson. Inside to James, off his foot and out of bounds. Give the ball back to the Blue Devils. Tallmadge leads 4-2, just underway here, first quarter from Barberton High School. And we got a whistle and what? We got I think a discussion about possession arrow because of that, what happened there early in the game. And we're talking to, the referee's talking to scorers for both teams. And whatever they've come up with, and I'm looking for the
arrow will be pointing in Tallmadge's favor since Barberton started with the ball.
Gotcha. Okay. So they've got that cleared up, and Caleb Kendrick will come ahead for Tallmadge. Kendrick out top, gets a screen from Rasinko. Bounce pass into Bontempo, turn around 10-footer, got it. Anthony Bontempo with an early 4 points, and Tallmadge leads 6-2. Antoine James into the forecourt on the far side. Pulls up, 15-footer, off the iron, no good. Rebound by Strada for Tallmadge. Ahead to Rasinko. He'll pull up for a 17-footer, no good. Rebound Barberton. Cleared out to Vernon Reynolds. His pass battered out of bounds by Kendrick. That'll give the ball back to the Magics on the baseline. Trailing 6-2 here, 6:27 remaining in the quarter. Reynolds will inbounds for the Magics. Lobs to James. He'll go right up and in.
Too easy.
They
right
caught
there.
him sleeping there. Antoine James with his first bucket of the night. And we come ahead for Tallmadge. It's Kendrick to Rasinko. Thought about a three, backs off, gets it back out top to Kendrick. Kendrick back to Rasinko to Kendrick. Far side to Reed. Kendrick, bounce pass to Strada at the foul line, kicks it out to Reed for three, got it. Robbie Reed with three, and the net got hung up, so whistle stops play. Tallmadge leads 9-4.
Barberton, an aggressive 2-3 zone, leaving a few openings there for Blue Devils to get good looks.
Tallmadge with a little three-quarter court pressure here. Reynolds gets it to James. He'll bring it across the timeline for the Magics. James between the legs to the foul line. Kicks it out to Reynolds in the quarter. Ball battered out of bounds by Rasinko. Give it back to the Magics. They'll inbound in the corner in front of the Tallmadge bench.
Ron, we're getting our first kind of look here at Antoine James playing what I would call a point forward. He handles the ball well for his size, and he's sort of the backup point guard here for the Magic.
Yeah, kind of what Coach Hazard was alluding to in our pregame. James gets it to Reynolds. Reynolds far side. Tries to get in the lane. Has it battered out of his hands. A scrum. And coming up with the ball is Johnson for the Magic. Looks like he hit the upright on his shot. But it was, one official pointing, saying it was tipped. The other pointing the other direction. So they're going to give the ball back to the Magics. The official on the far side disagreeing with the official on the near side, but this time the lead official, don't have his name, is going to
it's going to take the lead.
Take the lead. There you go. Nice. Well played. Reynolds will lob it into James up high. James fakes the three. He'll drive into the lane, spin, dribble, up, 6-footer, got it. Antoine James. He's got 4. And it's a 3-point Blue Devil lead. Robbie Reed ahead to Caleb Kendrick on the near side to Reed way up high to Strada at the foul line to Rasinko. A 3-pointer from the corner, got it. Chad Rasinko with his first bucket of the night, and Tallmadge leads 12-6. James will bring it ahead. Tallmadge drops out of their pressure defense. James drives the lane, running layup, and he got fouled on the way to the hoop. Otherwise, looked like he was going to throw it down. The foul's going to go against Bontempo.
Last two possessions, James has gotten deep into the Blue Devil defense. They're going to have to be a little quicker with their help defense.
First foul on Bontempo puts James at the line for 2. First shot up, no good. James, as is good practice, after a miss, steps away from the free throw line. He'll come back, reset. Takes a couple of dribbles, fires, and missed again. This time, rebound battered out of bounds by, looked like it went off Estrada, but the official saw it the other way. Tallmadge will inbound. They lead 12-6. 4:47 remaining first quarter. Caleb Kendrick brings it across to the top of the key. Nice bounce pass inside to Bontempo, whose shot was affected by James. James comes down with a rebound, and he'll bring it ahead on the dribble. James will hand off to Vernon Reynolds. Reynolds cross court. Ball comes back to James. James to Colton Klein on the baseline. He'll kick it out high to Uriah Young. His shot no good for three. Ball batted out of bounds. Give it back to the Blue Devils. So with 4:18 remaining, it remains Tallmadge 12, Barberton 6. Kendrick ahead for the Blue Devils. Gets it to Rosinko, right back to Kendrick. He'll have his pass stolen away, but Robbie Reed picks up the batted ball by James. Gets it in the corner, Bontempo. Baseline 8-footer, good. And Bontempo has 6 here in the first quarter, and his Blue Devils lead 14-6. James ahead for Barberton. Double teamed up top and gets it to Young. Young working against Kendrick. Back to James. James skip pass to Reynolds on the near side. Reynolds working against Reed. Behind the back dribble, stolen away by Reed. He'll kick it ahead to Rosinko. Running layup up and good. Rosinko has 5 first quarter points, and it's a 16-6 Tallmadge lead. Ahead for Barberton. Young gets it down to the baseline, now out top to James. James working an 8-footer off the iron, no good. Rebound, Robbie Reed. Reed for Tallmadge. He'll pull up just across the timeline to Kendrick, far side to Bontempo. Subs getting ready to check in for the Blue Devils. Kendrick up top. Sets the offense.
Barberton switching back to man-to-man here, trying to create a little more pressure.
Backdoor move by Kendrick, and his shot is hammered out of bounds. But getting part of Kendrick on that shot was Colton Klein for the Magics. So that'll send Caleb Kendrick to the line for Tallmadge. First team foul on the Magics.
Critical part in the game here for Barberton. Things are starting to slip away for them a little bit, and they got to get going offensively, but I think it's a good move by Coach Hazard to go man-to-man here, because Tallmadge was certainly finding the holes in that zone defense.
Chris checking in for Tallmadge. And Kendrick's first shot went halfway down and popped out. He'll have another. Waiting to check in for Kendrick is Andreas Carr. Second shot up, also no good. Reed with the rebound for Tallmadge. He'll get it out to Bontempo. His three-pointer no good. Johnson with the rebound for Barberton. To James. James crossover dribble to the foul line. Kicks it in the corner to Young. Young's pass is batted away out of bounds. It'll stay with the Magics. Kanan Yeager had a hand on it before it was tapped out of bounds. And Carr is now on in place of Kendrick. Inbounds comes to James for the Magics to Vernon Reynolds. He'll call out the set. Working against Robbie Reed out high. He gets it to James. Handoff back to Reynolds. Back to James on the far side. To Yeager working on the baseline. He'll drive his reverse layup. No good. Rebound Bontempo for Tallmadge. Gets it to Robbie Reed in the backcourt. Reed passes ahead to Rosinko. His pass inside. Running the baseline. Pass back out to Bontempo. His layup is nice. Right there, Anthony Bontempo with 8 first quarter points and a nice feed from Andreas Carr that time. 1:51 remaining in the quarter. Tallmadge leads by 12. Antoine James cross court. Far three by Young is no good, but pulled down and up and in by Colton Klein for the Magics. A bucket they sorely needed, and they're still down 10. Reed ahead for Tallmadge. He gets it to Carr, back to Reed. Reed cross court to Bontempo. To Christ. Christ looking for help. Hands off to Carr. His three-pointer no good. Rebounded by Reynolds for Barberton. Vernon Reynolds coming ahead on the dribble. Far side gets it in the corner to Yeager. Yeager's ball is batted out of his hands and into the backcourt. Antoine James will chase it down for Barberton. A minute remaining here in the first quarter. James will call out the play. Passes to Reynolds. He'll go to the hole and lay it in. Nice strong move by Vernon Reynolds to give Barberton the basket. And with that, we got a timeout on the floor by Barberton. A 30-second timeout. We'll take this 30-second break and be right back.
Summit County. Ready to score big in your career? Check out AkronWorks.com, your local job board powered by Jobs for Ohio's graduates. It's mobile friendly, easy to use, and full of opportunities to connect with local employers. Whether you're looking to get hired or hire talent, JOG makes it simple. Don't wait on the sidelines. Visit AkronWorks.com today and take your career to the end zone.
Back at Barberton High School, 51.1 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The Magics trail the Tallmadge Blue Devils 18-10. I want to remind you this game can be seen on replay on our YouTube channel. It's Fifth Dimension Radio /10 Cent Beer Nights. Normally starting 2 nights, sometimes only 1 night after the game play. So check it out tomorrow night or Thursday night. You should be able to see this one. Caleb Kendrick back in for Tallmadge. He gets it to Rosinko, backdoor to Kendrick. 8-footer on the baseline, no good. Rebound batted around, and James comes up with it for the Magics. James working out top, crossover, running 6-foot jump shot, got it. Nice shot that time by Antoine James, and he got fouled as he made the basket. The foul's going to go against Chase Christ for Tallmadge, and that'll put James at the line for 1 shot.
Antoine James showing his versatility there with his ball handling skills and also just that 1-foot floater down the lane there.
He nails the free throw, and it's a 5-point Tallmadge lead. So Barberton chipping away, getting right back in this one. And we know one thing about Antoine James. He's got some supporters here tonight.
Yeah.
Chad Rosinko looks like Tallmadge will play for the last shot. He gets it to Andreas Carr. Carr out top to Christ. Christ to Kendrick with 6 seconds. Inside layup, blocked nicely, but followed nicely by Chase Christ as time runs out in the first quarter. And we have a Tallmadge lead of 20-13 over the Magics. We'll be back after this message.
If your saving for retirement approach involves the phrase, "I'll get around to it someday," Edward Jones can help. When it comes to meeting your goals, time can be on your side, and there's no better time than now to get started toward your retirement goals. Or if you're in retirement and want a second opinion, let's talk. Edward Jones financial advisor Vince Rosnack can help. Stop by or call Vince today at 234-571-9913 to set an appointment. Or stop by the office at 529 Canton Road in Ellett, across from Eastgate Plaza.
Back at Barberton High School, where the Tallmadge Blue Devils lead the host Magics 20-13 after 1 period. And Eric, you had even mentioned during the course of that first quarter, it looked like things might get away from Barberton, but a nice charge there at the end of the quarter led by Antoine James. James has 7 points in the first quarter, and we got a 7-point game.
Yeah, the Magics need to tighten things up here on defense. Tallmadge doing a nice job of picking apart that 2-3 zone and took a commanding lead early on. But I think also Barberton likes to see Vernon Reynolds get a little more active toward the rim offensively. We'll see what happens here in the second quarter.
He did have a real nice drive there late in the quarter to the hoop. We'll see if we do see more of that. Kendrick with the ball on the near side for Tallmadge. He'll kick it out to Chad Rosinko. Rosinko will drive left of the lane. His shot no good. Looked like he might have got bumped. James comes ahead with the rebound for Barberton to Reynolds. Lost his feet, but got it to Colton Klein in the corner. He'll bring it out. Crossover dribble going to the hole. High arcing shot is no good and taken down by Caleb Kendrick for Tallmadge. Kendrick, crossover dribble, pulls up on the elbow, kicks it in the corner to Carr. Carr It looked like he double dribbled, and he did double dribble. That'll give the ball back to the Magics. Just underway here, second quarter. Barberton trails by 7, and it looks like Vernon Reynolds coming up gimpy. He'll get a sub in for him.
Yeah, I think his ankle just gave out on him there a little bit. I think he'll be all right.
Checking in is Camden McNulty for the first time. In for Reynolds. James up top for the Magics, working against Christ. Kicks it in the corner. McNulty for 3. Almost, but no good. Rebound by Young to James. His shot no good, but he got bumped on the putback attempt. Looks like it's probably going to go against Christ. It is. Chase Christ, second foul. First foul of the quarter against Tallmadge. And Antoine James will go to the line with 7 points on the night, looking for 8 and 9.
Colton Klein did a nice job of just tracking that offensive rebound and making a nice dish inside to Antoine James there.
First shot is up and good. And with that, a couple of substitutes. Marion Peters and Dallas Robertson checking in for Barberton. Both juniors. McNulty will take a seat, as well as Yeager. James at the line, second shot, in and out, rebound. Tallmadge. Christ has it. He'll get it to Kendrick in the backcourt. The senior brings it ahead, gets a screen from Strata. Gets it far side to Reed. Reed looks inside. Now he'll get it back to Kendrick. Couldn't pull the trigger on a 3, and boy, he got bailed out by the Barberton guard. That was Dallas Robertson, because Kendrick had left his feet and was coming back down, Eric, and instead we got a foul.
Yeah, he had him in trouble there, but he kind of a silly foul.
Inbound to Strata, his shot up and good from 8. Luke Strata with his first bucket of the night, and it's a 22-14 Tallmadge lead. 6:29 remaining, second quarter. James in the backcourt. James on the left-hand dribble, working against Robbie Reed. Bounce pass to Colton Klein. To Peters. Peters hands off to James. Sets a screen. James looking inside. Can't find anybody. He'll back off again. Working against Reed. To Klein. Peters. Back to James on the far side. James working baseline. Tried to get it to the hole, and he got bumped as he drove the baseline. Looks like this time it's going to go against number 13, Andreas Carr. His first and the team's second for Tallmadge. With that, Bontempo will check in for Carr. And coming back for Barberton is Kanan Yeager.
I think Coach Hazard's hoping to find some offense from somewhere other than James here.
And on the inbound, we had an offensive foul, but I didn't see it.
I think he stepped out of bounds over there.
Stepped out, okay. Yeah, because he didn't report it to the sideline. At any rate, Barberton steps out, giving the ball back on the turnover to the Blue Devils. The senior, Robbie Reed, ahead for the Blue Devils, and this time off the ball, we do have a foul. It's going to go against number 22, Uriah Young, for Barberton, his first and the team's second of the quarter. Tallmadge will inbound in front of the Barberton bench. Kendrick's younger sister is an important role player for the Tallmadge Blue Devils. He's got the ball, foul line extended into the lane. Nice drive, but has a shot blocked nicely by Yeager. Yeager comes ahead with a left-hand dribble. He'll get it in the corner to Young, out to Peters. Peters to Colton Klein at the top, to Yeager. Looks for the 3, can't trigger it. Gets it to Young, to James, far side. James trying to go that baseline, get a nice spin dribble, pull up 10-footer, got it. Antoine James, very impressive here early tonight. He's got 10, and the Magics are within 6 at 22-16. Robbie Reed to Kendrick out top, across to Bontempo. Bontempo on the far side, to Christ, to Kendrick. Kendrick looks for a screen, instead gets it on the roll to Strada in the corner. Bontempo drives baseline, pulls up, skip pass in the corner to Kendrick. Kendrick tries to go to the hole, can't get there, gets it to Christ for three, no good. Rebound battered around, taken down by Peters for Barberton. His pass ahead to Young, to Yeager, to James for three, no good. Rebound, Anthony Bontempo for Tallmadge. To Reed. Reed on the right-hand dribble. Cross-court pass to Bontempo. He'll fire from three. Got it. Anthony Bontempo with a big first half has 11, and Tallmadge has a 9-point lead. James gets it to Peters along the baseline for Barberton. Peters skip pass to Yeager. Yeager working against Reed. Pulls up, gets it back to Uriah Young, the senior. Off to James, the other senior. And James will reset the Magic offense. Nice bounce pass to Peters. Tried to kick it in the corner, but good hands by Robbie Reed. Steals it for Tallmadge. Ahead to Bontempo. In the corner to Christ. He'll fire for three. No good. Rebound James. Mr. Do-It-All comes down with a rebound. Ahead off the backboard pass by Colton Klein to Tallmadge. To Christ in the forecourt. His running 8-footer, no good. Rebounds his own shot. Gets it to Kendrick. No good. He rebounds his own shot. Back to Reed. Reed to Strade, and they'll reset. 3:16 remaining in the half. Kendrick for Tallmadge. Gets it in the corner to Bontempo. He'll take that three, this time way long, but off the leg of Kanan Yeager on the rebound. And that'll give the ball back to the Blue Devils. Johnson and Reynolds check back in for Barberton, as well as McNulty. Racinko back in for the Blue Devils.
It's good to see Reynolds back in the game. Let's see if he's a full go here or if he's still limping a little bit.
Reed inbounds to Racinko. His shot up, rolls off the iron, and it was rebounded by Colton Klein for Tallmadge. And right away, Reynolds just shakes and bakes right past Chad Racinko.
I think he's all right.
Yeah, drew a little bit of a reaction from the home folks. But the result was the ball got kicked out of bounds, and Barberton will have the ball underneath their own basket. I can't figure out if Coach Hazard's complaining about a no call or just calling out an offense for his team. The inbound is a sloppy pass. Ball batted around, picked up by Johnson, but he can't quite control it. Now there's a scrum on the floor. Johnson has it, and he's going to get called for traveling. I guess he tried to turn over. I know it's not one of your favorite calls.
I don't like that at all. Great effort there by Barberton, and young man just had the ball on the floor. And I think sometimes officials get concerned about there being too much physicality down there on the floor, and I feel a need to call something. But
Dallas Robertson and John Kafalos, I think. There's a 13 on the floor for Barberton, who I don't have on my roster. We'll double check that. Tallmadge has Reed with the ball, gets fouled in the front court. They're going to inbound underneath the basket. The ball, or the foul's going to go against Dallas Robertson, his second and the third team foul. And with that, we have a buzzer, but nothing. So Tallmadge will inbound on the baseline. Racinko to trigger it in. Gets it to Bontempo. His three-pointer, no good. A rebound by Barberton. McNulty on the far side brings it to the forecourt. And the ball is stolen away by Robbie Reed. Hard to the hole. His layup, no good. Battered out of bounds by Bontempo for Tallmadge, giving the ball back to the Magics. And with that, Barberton's Antoine James will check back in and try to settle things down, as it's gotten a bit sloppy here in the last 2 minutes.
Barberton up to 7 turnovers. Need to be careful with the basketball. Make every possession count here. Trying to get back into it.
Running layup for Barberton's Reynolds is good. And right on cue, Vernon Reynolds with the bucket. And it's a 25-18 Tallmadge lead. Into the forecourt. Kendrick to Racinko. His drive to the hoop, and there's a foul on the pass. They're going to inbound. No shot here. The foul again going against Dallas. Robertson, his third and the team's fourth. Tallmadge will inbound underneath their own basket with 1:59 remaining in the first half. Robbie Reed inbounds to Rosinko. His shot up, no good. Chad Rosinko having a bit of a struggle shooting the ball tonight, uncharacteristically. James ahead for Barberton on the baseline. He'll throw it out top into the corner. The ball goes to Robertson, battered away. Rosinko comes up with a loose ball. He's going hard to the hole, but has it stolen from behind by Robertson. Then Robbie Reed picks Robertson and hands it off to Rosinko, who lays it in. Rosinko with 7 points on the night. Ahead now, Vern Reynolds for Barberton, and a beautiful layup by Vernon Reynolds, and it's 27-20. A bit of a cherry pick by Rosinko, and now it's 29-20 as Rosinko gets a couple of real quick buckets with 1:12 remaining. Barberton's down 9. Here comes Antoine James. Spins into the lane, tries to get a shot up. He does. In and out. James fighting for the rebound, but it's torn away by Robbie Reed. Gets it to Bontempo. Out to Rosinko. Rosinko's pass to Luke Strada. Gets it to Bontempo. Hard to the hole, and he's fouled. I think that one's going to go against James. No, that one's going to go against Johnson.
The speed of the game here, Ron, has really picked up, and I'm really impressed by Vernon Reynolds' ability to push the ball and to get through tight spaces and get to the rim. I hope he's able to stay healthy the rest of this game.
Bontempo will go to the line with 11 points on the first half. First shot up and good. And with that, wholesale substitutions. Yeager, Young, and Peters check in for Barberton, and Carr for Tallmadge.
Bontempo having a very nice night so far for Tallmadge, playing under control, hitting some shots, doing a little bit of everything.
We were wondering who might be able to pick up some of the scoring slack for Rosinko, and that's been the answer, Anthony Bontempo. He now has 13 points on the first half. We're under a minute to play. Reynolds for Barberton spins into the lane, goes hard to the hole, lays it in again. Boy, you gotta like Vern Reynolds. And just what you had ordered, Eric, he's taking it hard to the hole. On the other end, so does Chad Rosinko. Also hard to the hole with the layup, and it's 33-22 Barberton. Reynolds ahead. Gets it to James. Thinks about a three at the elbow. He'll back off now, working against Kendrick. 18 seconds remaining. James double teamed. Gets it on the baseline to Peters. To Reynolds for three. Got it. Vern Reynolds cuts the lead to 8. Kendrick ahead for Tallmadge. His shot no good. Reynolds with the rebound, but knocked out of his hands. Bontempo's last second shot falls short. And at halftime, it's Tallmadge 33, Barberton 25. We'll pause for these two messages, and we'll be right back.
Hey students and job seekers, your next big career play starts here. AkronWorks.com, your local job board powered by Jobs for Ohio's graduates. Find local jobs, connect with employers, and get hired fast. It's easy, mobile-friendly, and full of opportunity. Step up, get in the game, and visit AkronWorks.com today because your career deserves a winning drive.
If your saving for retirement approach involves the phrase, "I'll get around to it someday," Edward Jones can help. When it comes to meeting your goals, time can be on your side, and there's no better time than now to get started toward your retirement goals. Or if you're in retirement and want a second opinion, let's talk. Edward Jones financial advisor Vince Rosnack can help. Stop by or call Vince today at 234-571-9913 to set an appointment. Or stop by the office at 529 Canton Road in Ellett, across from Eastgate Plaza.
Back here at Tallmadge at Barberton High School on senior night. And Bob, here we are. Good timing. I'm looking over at Bob Fritz. I know he's been politicking for us, Eric, on all these senior nights. We have yet to be included in the festivities, and you know, we are feeling a little slighted, but only a little, because what a great job our friends do here, John Sable and his staff here at Barberton. Always treat us great. only joking about the senior thing, but boy, we've been on a roll here. I think this is our fourth senior night, third for sure, maybe fourth already. So entertaining first half. Tallmadge keeps threatening to put this thing away early, and Barberton will get it on a run. I think late in the half, Eric, Vern Reynolds was the answer for Barberton, just as you had called. You said he's got to get active, going to the hole. He did just that and then hit a big three. So Barberton's still within striking distance.
You know, some of the games we've covered this year on it seems to be a pattern that one of the teams gets down early, and then from that early 10-point deficit, Barberton's actually outscored them by 2. But Reynolds has to hopefully stay healthy and stay active in this game, and he and James are going to carry the load for the Magics. But Bon Tempo has really stepped up for Tallmadge in this first half, and I think the stage has been set for a very competitive second half. Both teams I'm impressed with the effort and the intensity from both teams in this first half.
Yeah, I as well. And I think both coaches were looking for some effort tonight, right?
Yeah.
Neither one of them are in a position to win a league title at this point. Tallmadge is in a position to be second place in the Suburban American by themselves with a win tonight. So that's apparently at least somewhat of a motivator for them. But both teams are looking to get that mojo back that they both had earlier in the season, and hoping to make some noise at least early in the tournament here, which, by the way, don't know if we mentioned in the pregame, but the draw for the regional, they have the super district regional type concept now. Yeah. That's this Sunday for the boys. The girls had theirs this past Sunday. So both teams anxious to see where they might be going in that first round, what we used to call the sectional level, and then forward from there. So
I think, Ron, both of these teams' tournament time it will be interesting, because I don't know how many games they might actually be favored in, but if you're one of the top tier teams, you're not looking to play Tallmadge or Barberton because they're good enough to beat you. If they're firing on all cylinders, they can be a real problem. So they're one of those slightly above mid-level teams, and it could be real interesting at tournament time.
I agree, and as we heard from Justin Little in the pregame, he's going to hang his hat on for a Division III team, a really tough non-league schedule, which a lot of coaches like to do that to get their teams tournament ready throughout the year. Unfortunately for him, in terms of the overall record, they didn't win a lot of those non-league games, but they were competitive. They were right there in several of them. So I think he feels like, and what we're seeing tonight is his team has an opportunity to win a couple of games at least, if not more, in the tournament. Both of these teams, and Coach Hazard was not remiss to let us know. In fact, I think I wrote down his words here, which were we're young but we're small. So, neither team has overwhelming height, which the further you get down the tournament trail, especially in Division II like Barberton is, and Division III like Tallmadge is, that does play a factor. But for Barberton, you got to like a guy like Antoine James, who has a little bit of height but plays even bigger, I think, than he is at times. And Tallmadge has some athletes that can get off the floor. So
I think going forward, Barberton's big challenge will be players, 3 through 8, and whether or not they can improve. And figure out their role and play with confidence. I think sometimes what happens when you have two primary scorers, the other kids feel like, well, maybe it's not my job.
Right.
Well, everyone has to be, and that's what I do like about Tallmadge. You seem to have anywhere between 4 and 6 guys who believe they can and should score, and it makes a difference, and that's kind of what we're seeing going on out here in this first half. I'd like to see some of the more of the Magics get involved offensively and play with a little bit more confidence.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And one of those Magics that we did see the first time we were here earlier in this season, who had a big game and definitely a big second half, was Jameel Johnson. Jameel has yet to score. and probably haven't heard his name called all that much, so he hasn't been all over the boards like he was last time. But we are seeing a lot of guys off the bench for Barberton tonight, so we'll see who steps up, and Eric's point is well taken for both teams. You got the Reynolds and James show going for Barberton, and the Racinko and Anthony Bontempo show going for Tallmadge. We're going to take this break. We'll be back on the Edward Jones Halftime Report.
Horse racing is a great sport, and now you can have a horse in the race, own a little, and love it a lot. Thestable.ca is an award-winning horse ownership experience. Purchase as little as 1% of a racehorse and pay a set monthly fee. No surprises, modest investment, low risk, and completely accessible and transparent operations. Thestable.ca offers a unique, engaging racehorse ownership experience and features great customer service and consistent updates about your horse. Our innovative video production team tracks your horse's training progress, and clients are encouraged to visit the horses at any time. Thestable.ca is right for harness racing, and if you want to have a horse in the race, it's right for you too. For more information about The Stable, email Anthony at thestable.ca or call 519-400-4263.
Tired of boring off-the-rack tees? Want to express your unique style or promote your business? How about create an unforgettable memory? Call us at Screen Print Original, 330-414-1635, 330-414-1635. We bring ideas to life. We offer high-quality DTF transfers on a variety of apparel, ensuring vibrant colors and lasting designs, from custom creations to bulk orders, all for you. If you have an idea, give us a call at 330-414-1635, 330-414-1635. You can also drop us a line at screenprintoriginal@gmail.com. We look forward to serving you.
Back at Barberton High School, we're at halftime. The visiting Tallmadge Blue Devils lead the Barberton Magics 33-25. Quick look at the scoreboard in the area. Eric, a big one in the Suburban National tonight. In the third quarter, Stowe Monroe Falls leading Hudson 31-18 in a bit of a surprise there. Brecksville Broadview Heights leading North Royalton 32-26. And Nordonia leading Solon 51-40 in the third quarter. In the Suburban American, the only other score we have tonight at this point is well, it could have been a big one. Let's see if I can get this back here. But in the third quarter, early third quarter, Copley leading Highland 38-33, which is going to have Tallmadge really kicking themselves if that score holds, because Tallmadge still could have had a share if they had beaten Copley of the league title. But this one is not finished yet. Tallmadge with an 8-point lead here, and Barberton will inbound to start the second half. Ron Whitmer, Eric Whitmer here on Fifth Dimension Radio alongside Bob Fritz and Bob Felmley. Glad to have you with us tonight as we start to wind down this high school basketball season in the greater Akron area. James with the ball for Barberton into the forecourt. His team trailing by 8, and the local folks are singing happy birthday to Mr. James, who just had it battered out of his hands and into the hands of Chad Racinko for Tallmadge. To Bontempo, he'll skip cross court to Robbie Reed. Reed to the foul line, kicks it out to Kendrick. He'll drive the lane, got in trouble, got it to Strade. Luke Strade on the baseline. Bounce pass to Kendrick, layup up and good.
Beautiful pass by Strade there. Little backdoor cut.
Kendrick's first 2 on the night, and Tallmadge has a 10-point lead.
Reynolds late out of the locker room for the Magics, but getting ready to check in.
In the corner, it's Young. His three-pointer for Barberton, no good. Rebound taken down nicely by Robbie Reed III. He kicks it ahead to Kendrick in the corner, far side. Kendrick back out to Reed. Reed lobs inside to Luke Strada. Strada to Bontempo. to Robbie Reed. He'll drive to the foul line, now back off as he's cut off by Peters for Tallmadge. To Kendrick. Reed will fire the three. His bank shot is open. Bank open late here in Barberton for Robbie Reed. He'll take it. He's got 6, and Barberton has a 13-point lead at 38-25. Barberton in the need of a quick run here to get back in it. James up high. Gets it on the far side to Uriah Young. Back to James on the near side. In the corner to Yeager. His shot blocked out of bounds by Anthony Bontempo. And I tell you what, Eric, Bontempo has made a big difference tonight. The first time we saw him this season, not so much, but both ends of the floor, Bontempo making his presence felt. And you're right, Reynolds has checked back in for Yeager for Barberton. They missed him sorely. Glad to see him back on the floor. Inbounds thrown into the backcourt to Reynolds, who was fouled with no call. And the loose ball picked up by Kendrick. He'll take it in for the layup. And unfortunately for Barberton, the referees did not see that one because there's definitely a foul. Young in the forecourt for Barberton. To Reynolds up top. He'll lob in the corner. Young's three-pointer up and in. Uriah Young gets on the board for
Magic's needed that one badly. Two unfortunate possessions in a row. A bank shot from 3 and then a missed call there. Cost them 5 points.
Bontempo will fire for 3. No good for Tallmadge. Rebound loose and picked up by Robbie Reed, but his momentum carried him out of bounds in front of his Tallmadge bench. That'll give the ball back to the Magics. And yeah, Eric, they could use another quick score here to get them right back within shouting distance. So Vern Reynolds, who had a great second quarter, back in. Don't know if he was getting retaped or maybe he's under the weather, but he's back on the floor. Had a little trouble with his dribble. Chased down the loose ball. Gets it to James. James foul line extended to the near side. Skip pass to Peters on the baseline. Peters skip pass to Young. His three-pointer in and out this time. Rebound by Peters, up and in. Nice follow that time by the junior. His first bucket of the night, and it's a 10-point game. Back to the other end, and Racinko going hard to the hole is fouled on his left-handed attempt. Foul looks like it's going to go against Uriah Young, his second, and the team's first in the second half. Chad Racinko going to the line for Tallmadge. Racinko with 11 on the night. He'll look for 12 and 13 here. 5:03 remaining. Racinko's first shot up and good. It's an 11-point Blue Devil lead.
Tallmadge has opted to come out in this 2-3 zone. We'll see how long they stay with that before they go back to an aggressive man-to-man.
Second shot in and out. Rebound by James. James to Reynolds. He'll quickly bring it ahead. On the near side, behind the back dribble to the top of the key. To Peters. He'll launch the 3. Got it. Marion Peters all of a sudden has 5 quick points. And once again, Barberton's back within shouting distance at 41-33. Robbie Reed across the timeline working against Reynolds. Reed, the senior, against Reynolds, the sophomore. In the corner to Caleb Kendrick, drives baseline, spin dribble, nice move, up and in and out. Rebound by Racinko, up and in. Nice follow that time by Chad Racinko. He's got 14. And it's a 10-point Tallmadge lead. Vern Reynolds. Forecourt bounces to the far side. Out of bounds goes the pass, but Kendrick is going to be called for a holding foul. Caleb Kendrick's first personal and the first team foul of this half on Tallmadge. That'll give the ball back to the Magics on the baseline.
It's nice to see Marion Peters make some plays here. As we were talking about at halftime, getting some other guys involved offensively.
Inbound to Peters, up and in.
7 quick ones for him.
The junior with 7 quick third quarter points, and it's an 8-point game once again. Kendrick ahead for Tallmadge. Kendrick at the 3-point arc. His shot partially blocked and falls short, but They're going to say Colton Klein got a hand on it before it rolled out of bounds. That'll give the ball back to the Blue Devils with an 8-point lead, 3:57 remaining third quarter. Inbound to Bontempo. To Strade. He'll pull up from the elbow. His shot right there. Luke Strade has 6 on the game, and it's back to a 10-point Tallmadge lead. Reynolds gets shut off out top, gets to James. He'll fire from 3 at the top. No good. Rebound by Strade. Strade clears it out to Bontempo across the timeline. Bontempo has Racinko in the corner. He'll fire for 3. Got it. Chad Racinko starting to heat up here. He's got 17. And the Blue Devils back to a 13-point lead. James almost picked, gets it instead to Colton Klein on the baseline, and he puts it up and in. Klein with his 4th point, and it's back to an 11-point lead. Nice bounce pass inside by Caleb Kendrick to Strade. And Strade now with 8 points on the night. James with the ball out top for Barberton, trailing by 13. He'll back off now, working against Bontempo. James, right-handed dribble into the lane. Looked like he might have got away with an extra step there. Instead, we're going to have a foul on Tallmadge's either Robbie Reed or Luke Strade, or neither. Bontempo. Well, I didn't see that one coming, but that'll be the second on Bontempo and the second team foul for the Blue Devils.
Magic's showing a little bit of fatigue, having a few breakdowns defensively here, giving up some easy ones. I'm impressed with Strade's shooting touch, Ron. The young man can pop out there and hit that 15-footer for a guy that's, what, about 6'5", maybe?
Yeah,
6'4"?
That's what they list him at. James with his first points of the second half. He had a big first quarter, but Tallmadge has kind of put a lid on him a bit here since that first quarter. He's got 11 on the night. Second shot up and also good. Give him 12. And it's once again an 11-point Tallmadge lead. Yeager has checked back in for the Magics. Kendrick gets it to Bontempo for Tallmadge at the elbow. Back to Kendrick. Kendrick, left-hand dribble. He'll pull it back out. Racinko will fire a 3. No good. Rebound by Klein. Klein ahead on the dribble for Barberton. He's going to go coast to coast. His left-handed layup up and good. Nice effort that time by Colton Klein. Give him 6.
Love the left-hand finish there. Tough shot.
Ball ahead to Racinko. He fires from 3. Nothing but air. Rebound kicked out to Klein. Klein with the pass. I think he intended it for... Looked like he was trying to get it to Dallas Robertson, who kind of short-armed it, Eric, thinking that it was going to Yeager in the corner, and it went out of bounds.
He had 2 receivers open, the tight end over the middle and the slot guy going deep. He missed them both.
Yeah, he split the difference there. He sure did. Kendrick ahead for Tallmadge. Cross court to Bontempo in the corner to Carr. Carr back out top to Bontempo. Bontempo working against James. And James steals the pass away from Bontempo. James ahead on the dribble, gets it to Yeager in the corner. Yeager to Klein, bounce pass to James as they tried to feed the big man, and that time he got fouled by Andres Carr. That will be Carr's second foul and the third team foul on Tallmadge. So Barberton will inbound on the baseline. Vernon Reynolds will check back in for Dallas Robertson.
Reynolds keeps trying to loosen up that ankle. He's in and out of the game and seems to be struggling a little bit. We'll see what happens here.
Inbound to Klein. His shot up and in. Nice inbound by Reynolds. Klein with a quick 6 here in the third quarter and give him 8 on the night. Stolen away by Reynolds. Reynolds hard to the hole. Reverse layup, no good. Pulled down by Racinko. He'll kick it ahead to Bontempo. Nice pass to Carr, and his shot is good. Andres Carr with his first 2, and with that, Tallmadge will take the 30-second timeout. We'll do the same and be right back.
Jobs for Ohio's Graduates, JOG for short, is a workforce readiness nonprofit covering Northeast Ohio, including Ashland, Medina, Stark, Summit, and Trumbull counties, helping youth ages 14 to 24 and adults complete their education, develop soft skills, and start their careers. To make this possible, we need people like you to support the next generation of the workforce and partner with JOG today. Go to jogworks.org, JOGWORKS.org for more ways to mentor and hire JOG participants, attend events, and more.
Back at Barberton High School, Ron Whitmer, Eric Whitmer on Fifth Dimension Radio with 1:04 remaining in the third quarter. Tallmadge leads Barberton 52-43. Eric, it's been, to me, an interesting game in respect of, a lot of time teams go on runs, but we've had players go on runs tonight, right? This quarter, it's been Marion Peters for Barberton, along with Colton Klein, kind of keeping them in the game. Barberton has the ball in the front court now. Yeager gets to Vern Reynolds out top.
Right before that timeout, it was a tough turnaround for Barberton. Reynolds made a little more of that layup than he needed to. He missed, and then Tallmadge got a quick score at the other end.
Pass inside to Johnson. His shot up and good, and a foul will send Jameel Johnson to the line for the first time tonight. And the basket will count, and the foul is on Chase Christ, his third and the team's third. So Jameel Johnson gets on the board for the first time tonight. He'll try to make it a traditional three-point play. With that, McNulty will check in for Klein for Barberton, and Strada back for Kendrick for Tallmadge.
Nice set play there by the Magics. A quick cross screen down low for an easy basket and a chance for a three-point play here.
It really was a thing of beauty. We'll see if Johnson can make the kind of moves he did last time we were here, late third quarter into the fourth. Robbie Reed ahead for Tallmadge. Right-hand dribble hounded by Robertson out top. Cross court to Rasinko. Rasinko to the foul line. Kicks it out to Carr. Carr on the baseline. Pulls up his dribble. Bounces. He gets it back. Fires from three. Way too long. Rebound. Knocked out of bounds off the hands of Rasinko from Tallmadge. Gives the ball back to Barberton. They're within 6, Eric, and they just keep hanging around. Here come 3 more substitutes as Coach Hazard, well, 2. Peters didn't get there in time. But coming back are Yeager and Young, Uriah Young, and Kanan Yeager. Yeager just a freshman.
Coach Hazard doing a nice job of rotating his players, trying to keep fresh bodies out there, and getting a lot of support now for some bench guys.
Out top for Barberton is Reynolds. Crossover dribble. He'll pull up from 12, partially blocked. There's Johnson with the rebound and putback. Jameel Johnson, just as we said, he hadn't scored tonight. He got 5 quick ones, and it pulls the Magics within 4, 52-48. Tallmadge leads. We'll take this time out and be back with fourth quarter action.
If your saving for retirement approach involves the phrase, "I'll get around to it someday," Edward Jones can help. When it comes to meeting your goals, time can be on your side, and there's no better time than now to get started toward your retirement goals. Or if you're in retirement and want a second opinion, let's talk. Edward Jones financial advisor Vince Rosnack can help. Stop by or call Vince today at 234-571-9913 to set an appointment. Or stop by the office at 529 Canton Road in Ellett, across from Eastgate Plaza.
Back here at Barberton High School, we got a good one going, Eric.
Indeed we do. I'm really impressed by the effort of both teams, and at times it gets sloppy, but the other thing I'm really enjoying is just random contributions from different players that are normally not top scorers for either team, but making an impact in this game.
I was just going to say, I think both coaches got to be happy that they're getting something in terms of scoring that they haven't been consistently, which is not only starters who don't score a bunch, but guys coming off the bench who are scoring. So we'll take a look at that, obviously, in the post game, but scoring all around for both teams tonight. Tallmadge gets the inbound, and Robertson knocks it out of Reed's hands. Reed said, hey, man, he kind of hammered me, but the referee disagrees. But it is off of Dallas Robertson for Barberton, and he'll give it back to Tallmadge. In the backcourt, Racinko gets the inbounds, gives it back to Robbie Reed. Reed working against Robertson. Reed gets it to Bontempo. Cross court to Christ. Chase Christ to Luke Strada, way up high, working against James. James putting on the pressure, man-to-man by Barberton. Bontempo now on the far side. Bontempo working against Johnson, picks up his dribble. Out top to Strada. Tallmadge looking to get the ball inside. This time to Strada. Turns around, gets it back to Racinko. He'll drive baseline. Back to Strada. Nice job of coming back to the ball by Luke Strada. And he's got 10 points on the night.
Big basket for Tallmadge there. They really needed that. Nice play by Racinko on the drive and dish to Strada.
Yeah, it really was. Good decision by Racinko. James in the forecourt to Johnson. To Vern Reynolds, to Colton Klein. He'll fire the three off the back of the iron. Rebound off of Robertson's hands to Reynolds. Barberton maintains control of the ball. Reynolds hard to the hole. His shot up, falls in, and he was fouled. Vern Reynolds, a sophomore, showing some leadership. They're going to count the basket. Foul is against number 5, Robbie Reed, his first. And the team's first here in the fourth quarter. That'll put Reynolds at the line, looking for his 14th point. Can't get it, however, but knocks the rebound away to James. His shot up, partially blocked, and taken down by Strada. So we got a 4-point lead for Tallmadge, 6:40 remaining. Bontempo with the ball to Reed out top. Tallmadge had a couple of chances to put the Magics away, and they haven't been able to do it. They got a 4-point lead with the ball. Reed on the far side gets it to Strada at the foul line to Racinko. Can't fire the three because Reynolds is right there, but he'll pull up for 2 from the foul line and nail it. Chad Racinko with great patience that time. Give him 19 on the night, and the Blue Devils have a 6-point lead. Vern Reynolds ahead. Tallmadge man-to-man against the Magics. Reynolds gets a screen out high from Johnson. He'll spin into the lane. His 6-footer right there.
Man. The last 2 shots that young man has made are big-time shots. All kinds of people hanging on him and got him to go.
Racinko the other way. Hard to the basket. Racinko now with 21 to lead all scorers. James ahead for the Magics. Lobs inside to Johnson. He'll go to the basket. Dishes off to Robertson for a bucket. Dallas Robertson with his first 2 points, and with that we got a Barberton timeout, a 30-second timeout, a full timeout. So we'll take this break and hear from our friends at Jog.
Hey students and job seekers, your next big career play starts here. AkronWorks.com, your local job board powered by Jobs for Ohio's graduates. Find local jobs, connect with employers, and get hired fast. It's easy, mobile-friendly, and full of opportunity. Step up, get in the game, and visit AkronWorks.com today because your career deserves a winning drive.
Leaders aren't born, they're built. At Port Summit Rotary, we connect local professionals and community members who are passionate about making a difference. Build leadership skills, expand your network, and help create lasting change. Make your impact. Join us today. Learn more at portsummitrotary.org.
Back at Barberton High School, where the Tallmadge Blue Devils lead the Barberton Magics 58-54, 5:32 remaining. And I don't think I've broken this one out this basketball season. If I have, I apologize. But Eric, you know what we have going here.
I'm pretty sure. I don't want to get out ahead of you.
I think we have a good old-fashioned barn burner going on here. Racinko ahead for Tallmadge. Pulls up 12-footer. No good, but we have a whistle. What do we have? Maybe off ball? Fouls on number 1, Dallas Robertson. His 4th foul. And with that, quickly off the bench is Yeager. Was this before the shot?
Yeah, I think it was off the ball.
Yeah, off the ball. That's what the officials are discussing now. Was that before the shot or not before the shot of Racinko? They're going to say before the shot.
Just wanted to say real quick, Chad Racinko responded to both of those baskets by Vernon Reynolds, making difficult shots of his own, and it's creating a really competitive basketball game here.
I think Racinko has really played, not that he doesn't always play a team game, but he's distributed the ball well, shot when the time was right for the most part tonight, played some good defense, and as always, gets down the floor in transition. He's got the ball now, far side, into the lane, pulls up for an 8-footer, rolls off the orange, and taken down by Barberton. Vern Reynolds will bring it ahead with a chance to cut the lead to 2. Inside to Johnson. Johnson goes up hard, ball batted out of his hands and out of bounds by Bontempo. And it'll remain Barberton basketball. Caleb Kendrick checks back in for the Blue Devils for Chase Christ. 4:44 remaining, 4th quarter. Stay tuned for our post-game show where we'll announce the Cambria's Bistro player of the game. Colton Klein gets the inbounds pass. Looking for help, gets it out to Vern Reynolds, and they'll space it out.
Big possession here.
Chad Hazard calling the play from the Barberton bench, and instead, oh, wow. Reynolds shot, and Eric, I know as a coach, that's one you hate because you know Vern Reynolds didn't come up
that
6 feet underneath the basket on his 3-pointer. So he was either fouled or the ball was blocked, but the referee didn't see it that way. Gives the ball to Tallmadge.
He got hit on the elbow, and that made the shot fall dramatically short there.
Big non-call. Yeah, big non-call. So Tallmadge gets a break there. They lead by 4 with 4:13 remaining. And the ball, Chad Racinko in the front court. Gets it in the corner to Robbie Reed. He'll drive baseline, feeds nice to Strada, but he has trouble. Gets the ball off the floor to Kendrick and out top to Racinko. Racinko to Reed, far side. Back to Racinko. Had it batted out of his hands, but a foul called, going to go against Vern Reynolds, his first on the night. And first team foul, if I have that right.
I believe it's the second
team foul on Barberton here in the quarter. Kendrick inbounds to Reed for Tallmadge with a 4-point lead. Things have gotten tense here at Barberton. Anthony Bontempo on the far side to Luke Strada to the senior Kendrick on the left-hand dribble. He'll bring it back out top. Tallmadge being patient here, looking for the best shots. They've got the 4-point lead. Kendrick to the near side, gets it to Racinko. Racinko drives to the foul line, and he did.
Offensive
Shoved
foul.
off with his offhand. Foul's going to go against Chad Racinko. His first of the night, but it is going to give the possession back to Barberton. With that, Uriah Young checks in for Kanan Yeager. 3:25 remaining. Fans on both sides. You know, it's not a huge crowd, but it's a loud crowd here tonight. And they're into it. Vern Reynolds ahead for Barberton to James. Antoine James, haven't heard much from him here in the half. Cross court, Uriah Young looking to try to get it inside to James. Instead, he gets it to Reynolds. Reynolds working against Reed to James. Thought about a deep 3 instead. Thinks all the wiser. And he's double teamed, and we got an offensive foul. Is that going to go against Jameel Johnson on the screen? It is. Jameel Johnson's second foul. And Barberton's third. Give the ball back to Tallmadge with that 4-point lead. We haven't budged off to that for the last couple minutes.
Game's got a little stagnant. The whistles have picked up here for whatever reason, and we're stuck here at 58-54.
Kendrick to Reed for Tallmadge to Racinko to Kendrick. Foul line extended on the far side. Left-hand dribble. Rosinko all alone for three, but no good. Rebound by Reynolds. Quickly out to James. James in the corner to Young. His three-pointer short, but rebounded by Colton Klein. His putback no good. Johnson's putback no good, and we got a foul on the next rebound, and it's going to go against Johnson. Lots of hustle that time and a little bit of bad luck. That's going to be Jamil Johnson's third foul and the fourth team foul on the Magic. So shooting on all future fouls will help Tallmadge here as we go down the stretch. 2:27. They have a 4-point lead. Kendrick in the backcourt. Dallas Robertson hounding him. Kendrick gets away and gets it to wide open Chad Rosinko for the layup. Nice job by Kendrick of reading the defense and getting the ball to Rosinko. Tallmadge now up 6. Vernon Reynolds, the left-hand dribble on the near side with a little bit of pressure from Montempo. Now he'll back off, and Tallmadge looks like they're switching up their man-to-man in terms of who's guarding who. Reynolds going against Robbie Reed. Reynolds into the lane. Nice layup up and in. Vern Reynolds, the sophomore, Eric, is something special. And with that, we're going to get a timeout from Barberton. They're back within 4 with 1:51 remaining. It's a full timeout. And we're going to keep it right here this time and talk to you a little bit about our friends at WAOH.TV. We partnered with that fine organization to replay these games. They're shown on Mondays at 6 p.m. on WAOH.TV, and then also shown multiple times throughout the week. So if you can't find us on Fifth Dimension Radio's YouTube channel, check us out on WAOH.TV. And as always, join us live here each Tuesday night of the season for a live audio version of the high school basketball game of the week. Next Tuesday, we'll be talking to you from Stowe, where the Bulldogs will take on Copley in a cross-conference game in the Suburban American versus Suburban National. We'll have final scores from their games tonight in our post-game show. So we look forward to that one, and then we'll follow that up on Friday night next week to wrap up our regular season broadcast schedule from Walsh, where the Walsh Warriors will host the Nordonia Knights, and we'll get a chance to see the Knights for the first time this year. So, Eric, what are your thoughts? What's each team need to do here in the final 151?
Well, I think Barberton's got to find a way to get Anton James a little more involved offensively, especially if they can get him attacking the basket or getting posted up down there. And then the critical part here is to try to be aggressive without fouling and putting Tallmadge to the free throw line.
Rosinko has it in the backcourt. He's being hounded by Robertson, but he comes ahead across the timeline. Robertson doing a nice job of getting ahead of the dribble. Rosinko to Reed. Reed will work against Colton Klein. Reed, the senior, up top. Tallmadge patient now. Only one wide open looks or layups, I would think, the way they're playing. Bontempo working against James. Hands it off to Rosinko and a double team on the far side. And with that, Coach Justin Little didn't like what he saw on that double team, decided to use one of his remaining timeouts.
A good timeout there by Coach Little. They were about to turn that thing over, I believe, and he saw it, and he thought, well, now's a good time for a timeout.
Yeah, absolutely. Remind you that just a minute 23 remaining here in regulation time. Eric and I will be selecting our Cambria's Bistro Screen Print Originals Player of the Game. And one of our tougher decisions on the season, there's multiple candidates. We've got Reynolds and James for sure from Barberton. We've got Rosinko and Bontempo for Tallmadge for sure, but there are multiple other players who have contributed. So for once, our job's pretty tough tonight.
Yeah. I think we're going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait a little. I am feeling a little pressure this time because there's 4 or 5 guys that are just having very good basketball games here. Ron, this is an interesting point in the game for coaches because if you're Tallmadge, you're up 4 and you don't want to take a bad shot, but you got to be careful of being too cautious with the ball and turning it over here.
Okay.
They're going to
Reed
watch for the double.
The ball, gets it to Rosinko. He's double teamed. He gets it to Strada, back to Reed in the corner to Bontempo, out top to Rosinko. Rasinko, you probably don't want to foul him. Double team gets it to Kendrick, and this is Kendrick getting the ball to Robbie Reed. To Rasinko in the corner to Bontempo. Skip pass to Kendrick. And there you go. And that's the other thing I was going to bring up, Eric. The coach and his staff have to identify who are the guys when you do have to foul that you most likely would like to. They've chosen Caleb Kendrick as they got him. And I believe that's going to be the 5th foul on Dallas Robertson. And he's going to go ahead and shoot before they make him leave the field or the court. Kendrick's shot is up and good. So he says, take that.
I like the fact that Barberton gave it some time trying to get some steals before they elected to make that foul with 52 seconds to go in the game.
Yeah, there's plenty of time for them to continue to foul, right? So they need buckets at this point. Second shot, no good. Rebounded by Klein. Klein to Reynolds with a 5-point deficit. He's going to go to the basket, and he's fouled. Not what you want to do if you're Tallmadge, to put Reynolds to the line with the clock stopped. Foul's going to go against Robbie Reed, his second, and the team's third. That'll put Vern Reynolds at the line for the Magic, shooting 2. He could cut it down to a 1-possession game here, so not the best decision that time by Tallmadge. First shot's up and good with that, and I guess that was not the 5th foul on Robertson as he's back in, so I did not pick up who it was on.
It's critical that Tallmadge tail out here, and especially on Antoine James if this free throw is missed.
But it's not. It's nailed by Vern Reynolds, and we got a 3-point game, 44 seconds remaining, and Rasinko fouled in the backcourt. It's getting to the point where they didn't have a whole lot of choice who they fouled. The foul's on number 5, who is Vern Reynolds, and I think I mistook the last foul as being the 5th foul. It was actually on Reynolds, so he now has 3 personals, and Chad Rasinko will go to the line for Tallmadge. First shot up and good.
Again, there are different coaching philosophies, but I was watching the body language of Coach Hazard there. I think he wanted one trap in the backcourt before they gave up the foul. Still 42 seconds to go in the game. And Rasinko's such a good free throw shooter. It's a tough one to take.
Second shot up and also good. So Rasinko 3 for 4 from the line tonight. And Tallmadge has a 5-point lead. Vern Reynolds, not much time. They got to get it to the hole quickly. He spins, declines the shot, gets it out to Peters, whose 3-pointer is no good. Tallmadge with the rebound. Bontempo fouled in the backcourt by James, and that'll send Anthony Bontempo to the line. Antoine James with his first foul, but the 15 foul, so we're shooting the rest of the way here for Tallmadge. And Bontempo had 13 first-half points, Eric. His first opportunity to score here in the second half, but don't be misled by that. And the first shot is up and no good.
I didn't catch which Blue Devil did it, but they had an outstanding tail out down here to get that rebound on, and so James was not able to get the offensive board.
Bontempo's made a lot of good decisions, played good defense, and now has 14 on the night. Reynolds ahead, 6-point difference in 20 seconds. He'll spin, go hard to the hole. He gets fouled. And again, I'm not sure that I'm going to put him on the line, but that's what Tallmadge does.
We might be at the point in the game here where you'd like to see him make the first one and miss the second. Down 6 with 16 seconds to go. A lot you would have to negotiate here to get into this game.
First shot rolls over the edge of the iron and in. And trying to tally up real quickly, 20 points now on the night for Vern Reynolds. Checking in for the Magic is sophomore Noah Wright. And we'll see if your strategy is something they're going to employ here, Eric. Second shot up and also good, so they're going to make them both. They're down by 5 with 16 seconds in the backcourt. Rasinko is fouled. So, you know, funny things happen in a short amount of time in basketball, but it looks like Tallmadge has pretty much got things where they want them with a 64-60 lead, especially if Rasinko can nail a couple here. first shot up and off the back of the iron. No good. So there's still life.
I think Coach Hazard trying to get more offense on the floor. Guys more likely to make a three here. Gonna have to get the ball down the court quickly.
He's got Peters, Young, and Yeager all who can fire the three. Second shot up and good. It's back to a 5-point difference. Reynolds not coming ahead too fast here. 10 seconds to go. He will launch the three. In and out. James with the rebound. He goes up and sticks it in, but a little too late. They do take the timeout with 1.1 remaining. So it's 65-62. I'll tell you to hang tight here. We'll keep it right here. Coach Hazard takes the timeout with 1.1 remaining. The Blue Devils lead 65-62. So here's where I'm at as a supposed former coach here. A lot of people think it's over, right? But to your point and Coach Hazard's point when we talked to him in the pregame, these are young men who are 15 to 18 years old. And an inbound situation where a Tallmadge player shoves off to get open can create a foul, can give the ball back to Barberton at the foul line, depending on the severity. So I'm just cautioning you that though it appears to be over, you just don't know, especially when it's a one-possession game.
Yeah, a couple things here. You know, the best scenario for Barberton would be if they could create a 5-second call. The second thing would, like you said, just create an offensive foul on Tallmadge. If someone runs into you, fall down. Right. You never know what's going to happen. And then the hardest thing to do here would be to steal the ball and get up a three-point shot in 1.1 seconds. So I would have somebody very tall on that ball and switch all screens and try to get a 5-second call.
The Tallmadge is inbounding under the Barberton basket, and I think for your inbounder, don't you tell him? Let's see, do they have a timeout left?
Yeah.
They do.
He can run the baseline, Ron.
He can also he can throw it deep if he's in a panic, but he doesn't have to panic because he's got timeouts left. So what are we?
They're trying to give up a foul on Strade here before the ball's inbounded. They're not going to let him do it.
Well,
now they're blowing the whistle for something.
I'm not sure what we have.
I think we're going to have a referee meeting. Ron.
Yeah.
We haven't had one of those in a while.
Where did the whistle come from? I heard it.
I don't think there was a foul call. These three are discussing about whether or not there should be an intentional foul before the ball. Travion Peters just hugged Strade, trying to create a foul and put him at the line for two, and nobody called anything. And then after a while, one of the referees blew his whistle, and now there's a referee meeting trying to sort this out.
We don't have the...
They are going to call an intentional foul.
Okay. And my only problem with that, Eric, is it wasn't called when it happened.
Right.
And I don't know that the high school rule book allows for you to go back after the fact and call that. But at any rate, that's what's been called. Probably the right call, maybe just not at the exact right time. So Strade will go to the line, shooting the free throws, and as you mentioned, nice touch on the ball. He gets his first one, gives him 11 on the night. He'll go for a second one, and then Tallmadge will get the ball back. So in essence, we're pretty much done as Strade knocks down both free throws. And with 1.1 remaining, Tallmadge now can just throw it up in the air at their end of the floor without any worries about what may happen. So Reed will inbound. He gets it to Racinko, and that'll do it. Our final from Barberton in a well-fought, hard-played game. Tallmadge 67, Barberton 62. We'll take this time out, and we'll be back to tell you about our Cambria's Bistro Player of the Game.
Hi, Hi, this is Ronnie Kemmer, owner of Cambria's Bistro. We are located in the heart of downtown Wadsworth at 132 Main Street. Cambria's Bistro is a family-owned establishment that brings together the best of two worlds, the rich traditions of Italian cuisine and the contemporary favorites of a pub and grill. Reservations are not required but recommended by calling 330-331-5282 or 330-331-5357. We offer a casual dining atmosphere that is great for a family dinner, date night, or a special celebration. We feature a wonderful wine list with selections from Sicily to Napa Valley. We also have a great bar menu with specialty cocktails, many beers, on-tap beers, ciders, and seltzers. Cambria's Bistro also features San Pellegrino sparkling water. We are located in the heart of downtown Wadsworth at 132 Main Street. Come see us soon.
Horse racing is a great sport, and now you can have a horse in the race. Own a little and love it a lot. Thestable.ca is an award-winning horse ownership experience. Purchase as little as 1% of a racehorse and pay a set monthly fee. No surprises, modest investment, low risk, and completely accessible and transparent operations. Thestable.ca offers a unique, engaging racehorse ownership experience and features great customer service and consistent updates about your horse. Our innovative video production team tracks your horse's training progress, and clients are encouraged to visit the horses at any time. Thestable.ca is right for harness racing, and if you want to have a horse in the race, it's right for you too. For more information about The Stable, email Anthony at thestable.ca or call 519-400-4263.
Back at Barberton High School, where the Barberton Magics hung on and had a chance right up till the end, but fell tonight to the host Tallmadge Blue Devils 67-62. And it's that time of the night, and this is probably as much discussion as we've had about a player of the game. But, you know, when a guy clearly outscores everybody else and plays a great floor game, I think we got to give it to him. And he'll be our first two-time player of the game this season. It's going to go to Chad Racinko from the Tallmadge Blue Devils. Racinko had 26 points on the night, along with a couple of rebounds and 5 assists, and a great floor game. We saw him earlier in the season when he scored 40 points. I think I liked his game better tonight, Eric.
I think he was more impactful, and he was a little more disciplined in his play. And like you had said earlier in the game, he was taking the shots when he should. He was passing when he had guys open, and of course his free throw shooting is very helpful down the stretch. They do everything they can to get him the ball inbound, so he's the one that goes to the free throw line. And hats off to the young man, because he had a nice all-around game.
Okay, and I'm reminded that we are back on camera again. So, number 3, Chad Racinko, two-time player of the game. Our congratulations to him and to the Tallmadge Blue Devils, who needed a win here. So, if I'm understanding the standings right, and we'll come back and look at some of the other scores here in just a bit, but that gives Tallmadge the undisputed second place slot for the Suburban League American Conference this year. And given that so much of their offense from last year graduated, I think it's a big accomplishment by Justin Little, his staff, and his players. It was a league that was up for grabs this year, and Highland's going to end up winning the league. But, boy, almost every team in the league gave Highland a good game at least one of the 2 times that they played them. And Tallmadge certainly falls into that category, and I know they're kicking themselves. They lost by a point at Highland early in the season. So a couple of games like that for the Blue Devils, but on the whole, they finish at 10-4, a good mark for this conference this year. So hats off to them. Hats off to Barberton. This game could have gotten out of control right in the first half, and they kept fighting back.
Kudos to both coaches, because you interviewed them before the game, and you could just tell there was some uncertainty there about what to expect tonight. But both teams really put forth a great effort. And Ben, had the good fortune now, Ron, of doing some of these games with you and have a little more idea what's going on with this league. And from what I can see, a big difference maker in a lot of these games is the contributions you get players. Coaches call it 3 through 8. Most teams have 1 or 2 pretty doggone good basketball players, but a difference maker on any given night can be what kind of contribution do you get from players beyond that, and that's the thing I liked about Tallmadge. Caleb Kendrick does a nice job handling the ball and getting down in there and creating some havoc, and they got a nice game from Anthony Bontempo and Luke Strada tonight as well. And the more guys that do that, the better. And then in the second half, Barberton had guys that just kind of came out of nowhere. Peters, what do you have, 7 straight points there at one time,
right.
And Colton Klein had a nice contribution off the bench, and that's really what you need going forward, especially at tournament time, because you're not going to go very far with 1 or 2 basketball players. You're going to need contributions from as many guys as you can.
Yeah, absolutely. So while we're on that, why don't we go ahead and take a quick look here at the scoring stats, and Eric, if you want to come up with our rebounding leaders, that'd be great too. So for the losing Barberton Magics tonight, like I said, a great effort, and they were led by the sophomore point guard, shooting guard, Vernon Reynolds, who had 11 first-half points and put up a 10-point fourth quarter to end up with 21 points on the night for the sophomore. Great floor game for Reynolds. Antoine James, big first half, had a couple of free throws and a bucket in the second half to finish with 14 on the night, on a birthday night, so happy birthday to Antoine James. Marion Peters, as Eric mentioned, in the third quarter had a three-pointer and 2 other buckets, a quick 7 for his team. Jameel Johnson had a 5-point third quarter, so Peters and Johnson really kind of kept them in the game, as Reynolds and James in the third quarter had 2 points between them. So to your point, there's that bench really paying dividends for Barberton. Joe Undo, we want to recognize him again. The senior actually had a bucket tonight. He's still not recovered from his injury, leg injury early in the season. He possibly could be back at tournament time. Coach wasn't real sure about that, but they did get the opening tip to him. He got a bucket. They gave a bucket back to Tallmadge. So congratulations to Joe Undo on a great career here at Barberton. We wish him the best as he moves into the college phase. Colton Klein, 8 points on the night. Actually, I think 10. I think I wrote 1 down in the wrong spot. Nice showing for Colton. Dallas Robertson had a bucket for 2, and Uriah Young had a three-pointer in the third quarter. Another guy, he started tonight, but another guy you don't expect a lot of scoring from in that third quarter, and kept Barberton hanging around. For Tallmadge, we had Andres Carr had a bucket for 2. Chase Christ, same thing. Robbie Reed had a three-pointer in the first quarter and a three-pointer in the third quarter for his 6 points. Luke Strada had 12 points tonight on 5 field goals and 2 for 2 from the line. Chad Rasenko, player of the game, 26 points and a great floor game. Anthony Bontempo had 13 and led the way in the first half for Tallmadge, ended up with 14 overall, and Caleb Kendrick in the second half had a couple of buckets and 1 for 2 from the line for his 5 points. That all adds up to a 67-62 Tallmadge lead. Who were our leaders rebounding?
I had Robbie Reed the third with 5 rebounds to lead the Blue Devils. A couple guys had 4, and then Colton Klein pulled down 7 rebounds to lead the Magics on that end. And turnovers, really the stat that stood out there is Barberton had 9 first half turnovers and spent some time trying to recover from that. And eventually, they got about 90% of the way back, but just not 100%. And but a well-played game, a well-fought game by both teams, and looking forward to seeing what they might do down the road.
Absolutely. We're going to take this time out, and we're coming back to take a look at some other area scores.
Hey, students and job seekers, your next big career play starts here. AkronWorks.com, your local job board powered by Jobs for Ohio's graduates. Find local jobs, connect with employers, and get hired fast. It's easy, mobile-friendly, and full of opportunity. Step up, get in the game, and visit AkronWorks.com today because your career deserves a winning drive.
So, back here at Barberton High School, where the Magics fell to the Tallmadge Blue Devils 67-62. Ron Whitmer, Eric Whitmer, Fifth Dimension Radio. Thanks for joining us. Quick look at the scoreboard in the area tonight. A big one in the Suburban American. Copley knocks off Highland again. As we were talking about, this league was up for grabs. Tallmadge and Copley and Barberton are probably all kicking themselves tonight because that gives Highland their third league loss. Tallmadge finishes at 10-4 and dropped that one-pointer to Highland earlier in the season. But with Tallmadge's win, if I read the standings correct, Copley is still a half a game behind them, so they'll have to win one more to tie that second place race. So hopefully I've gotten that right. Let's take a look over at the Suburban National. A lot of big games tonight, and a big one from Stowe. Stowe Monroe Falls knocks off Hudson 62-51, and the Bulldogs seem to be putting things together here in the second half of the season. We're going to be there next Tuesday. Looking forward to seeing them against Copley from the Suburban American, who's also hot now, so it should be a good one next week. Brecksville Broadview Heights has wrapped up that portion of the Suburban at 17-1 on the season as they beat North Royalton 63-48, and Nordonia down Solon tonight 86-77. Take a quick look here and see if we've got some scores out of the Metro. Medina beat Woodridge 70-48. Ellett down Norton in a surprise 67-63, and giving Norton their second loss of the season. And Field beat Garrettsville Garfield 70-65. Principals Athletic Conference.
That's a nice win for Ellett, Ron, after they just had lost, I think, the City Series championship game. And
that's right.
To bounce back and beat a once defeated Norton team, credit to the Orangemen.
Yeah. In the Federal League tonight, McKinley downed Hoover 64-59. Glen Oak beat Walsh 68-64. We'll be at Walsh next Friday for our final regular season game. And this score, Eric, sometimes you trust your eyes, sometimes you don't. But if it's correct, in the fourth quarter, Perry is leading the Lake 35-16. I find that very hard to believe.
You never know.
Having seen Lake early in the season and some of the shooters they have. But it might be right. So that's a look at some of the local scores. And we'll take this final time out and be back to wrap things up.
Tired of boring off-the-rack tees? Want to express your unique style or promote your business? How about create an unforgettable memory? Call us at Screen Print Original, 330-414-1635, 330-414-1635. We bring ideas to life. We offer high-quality DTF transfers on a variety of apparel, ensuring vibrant colors and lasting designs, from custom creations to bulk orders, all for you. If you have an idea, give us a call at 330-414-1635, 330-414-1635. You can also drop us a line at screenprintoriginal@gmail.com. We look forward to serving you.
Back at Barberton High School, Ron Whitmer, Eric Whitmer on Fifth Dimension Radio. I wanted to clarify one thing that I semi-misspoke. So Copley does indeed have what would have been two. They played one tonight, knocking off Highland. So they have one league game left against Cuyahoga Falls a week from Friday. If they should happen to win that, then they will tie Tallmadge for second place in the league. So I apologize for misspeaking. But Falls has been playing pretty well lately, so that game's up for grabs. But that is our game next week. Copley goes to Let's back up.
Stowe Monroe Falls.
Yeah, they go to with tonight's win to 14-7. No, that can't be right. It's 13-7 and 9-4 in the conference. And Stowe, with their win tonight, goes to 12-7 and 8-5 in the Suburban National. So looking forward to that. Should be a great game. And then, as I said, we finish the season on Friday with Nordonia at Walsh. So any final thoughts, Eric?
Yeah, I just it's been a learning situation for me, just watching these different games in this league and the balance. And the coaches have talked about it. There's not a big discrepancy between these teams, and so it is so important that you show up ready to go every night and get contributions from as many guys as you can. And I think Tallmadge has done a real nice job with that, and to finish second in the league. I know, all coaches want to win the title and all that, but kudos to Coach Little for finishing second in the Suburban, because like tonight they got contributions from a lot of guys.
Yeah, and I think there are folks, in fact, we're sure there are folks around the league that really didn't see Tallmadge as a top 2 or 3 team in the league. And when I say folks, I'm talking about coaches and assistants and so forth. I don't want to call anybody out, but we talked to a lot of people around me. So Eric's exactly right. This is a big accomplishment by the Blue Devils, and hopefully for their sake they can use it as a springboard to the postseason. So wrapping it up here from Barberton High School, the final, Tallmadge 67, Barberton 62. We'll see you next Tuesday from Stowe. Until then, be safe.
You've been listening to Fifth Dimension Radio's Sports Special, where we bring you live high school sports. And we'll be announcing more exciting games coming up in the near future, so keep it on Fifth Dimension Radio. This is your announcer, Bob. Good night.